as you can see, today my barber did me right, as per usual, because my barber is the best. Shout out Pedro, my goat. No man has ever made my hair this good. No man. That's why you gotta get yourself a gay barber, bro. My goat. My absolute goat. He my goat. But anyway, what I want to talk about today is essentially how you can find the correct hairstyle for you, right? First of all, you gotta analyze your face shape, right? You gotta have a look. So, what are we talking about here? Do you have a square face? Do you have a circular face? Do you have an oval face? Do you have a very narrow face? How's your forehead looking? You know, my forehead's like this. Could I rock a buzz cut if I wanted to? Sure. Am I gonna? No. Why? I like the hair. I like how it complements the rest of my face, you know, because I got such a nose, right? I've got this nose, right? I don't have the smallest nose, let's say. I have a pretty strong nose. Facial feature-wise, I've got pretty high-set cheekbones, you know. We have to figure out, right? What are we gonna do about this? How are we going to essentially figure out what haircut we're gonna go for next? For this, we have to see, okay, so because my forehead is a certain width, because my nose is a certain something else, right? Having your hair in a certain way where it takes away from whatever the fuck is going on with your face is probably a good thing, right? I have this friend who, for example, beautiful looking man. Sometimes he chooses to go bald. Point is, he looks great doing it. But that's the thing. He only looks good doing it. Why? Because he has a fabulous beard as well. He has a fabulous beard. That's the thing. If you have a fabulous beard, you can afford to go bald. Whatever. I unfortunately do not have a fabulous beard yet. If I were, I still wouldn't go bald. Why? Because in my opinion, I don't have the head shape for that. He does. He has a great head shape for that. Plus, he has a pretty thick neck. So I mean, for him, it looks like that makes sense. I still have to work on my neck. Point is, you know, I don't have the skinniest neck. Pause. But like, you gotta figure out what works for you. And what works for you is solely dependent on your facial features. How angular your face looks. What kind of face shape you got. I had this other friend, you know, he had a very narrow face. He had not really a weak chin, but a weaker jaw, right? Did not have all that. So my recommendation, he also had very beautiful curls, right? So my recommendation for him was, you know, I think you should keep some weight in the back, some weight up here, not too much, because then his forehead wasn't big as fuck either. So keeping so much hair and so much weight on your forehead just takes away from your facial harmony, right? Because if there's so much weight here, whatever is down here just looks like it doesn't match. It doesn't. Your face is split up in thirds, right? So there's 1/3, 1/3, 1/3, right? Let's take off the glasses for you to see my face better. Essentially, what this does is it allows for you to visualize, okay, how much weight should I keep up here? How much weight should I keep on the sides? Should I clean this up a bit, right? Or will I look like a mushroom? Will I look stupid if I shave too much, right? There have been times where my barber, right, decided to basically chop all this weight off. It's not that I didn't want that. I did. Simply because, I mean, it's hot. Whatever. It gets hot. Especially when I'm doing jiu-jitsu. It gets in the way. It gets in other people's faces. You don't want that. I mean, you don't want to be that guy. But what I'm trying to say is, you're trying to figure out what works for you. It does work for me, although I prefer the weight in the back. I had the mullet before, you see. I had the fringe before. Did it suit me? Yeah. Was it the character I was trying to portray? Not really, no. Why? Because, I mean, look, a certain type of man can rock the mullet. Am I that man? No. Am I trying to be that man? No. Why? Because at the time I was 18, right? I was a young boy. Little boy. And essentially, I'm not that boy anymore, you know? I'm growing up now. I decided, you know what? Fuck the fade. I don't want to get fades anymore. There seems to be a bit of a fade propaganda. I say, fuck the fade. You don't need a fade. Although, because I used to cut hair. I still do sometimes. A fade looks nice on some people. On me personally, since I've got such light hair, it does not look the best. In my opinion, my face and, hair color and texture simply does not match the fade. I used to have a fade. I decided, you know what, no more fades for me. I grew out of that. I prefer to get layers now. And my layers are fabulous, thanks to the golden hands of my barber. You see, not everyone works this way. Not everyone looks good with longer hair, and that's okay. Although, I beg to differ. I think if you take enough care of your hair, using the right products, getting a water filter, and essentially just nurturing your hair more, eating the right things, not washing it every day, having a decent schedule, you will be able to take better care of your hair, keep it healthy, keep it moisturized with the natural oils that come from your head, and essentially just flourish in a way, right? Why do you want to flourish? So you can look better, you can have healthier hair, you will not bald by 30. And overall, I would say, going back to if I was a teen, right? I would totally say, yeah, dude, you should totally grow out your hair. Why? Because as a teen, I used to get this high fade. No, I used to get a mid fade, and I used to have like the whole fucking, that seemed to be the craze way back when in 2020, where it was like, oh yeah, the e-boy haircut. I used to be like, ooh, I want to do that. Get so many bitches. Ooh. 6 years ago, by the way. Crazy to me, but overall, I mean, it did not look good. Like, it just didn't look good. I was just following a trend. I didn't see the vision. Now I see the vision. I was also a different person. My face was all swollen and inflamed because of worse eating habits. I was a little pudgier. I was still growing up. I didn't have braces at the time. My facial structure wasn't so defined and sharp. But you see, it's all these things. It's an amalgamation of all these things that really make or break your facial harmony and overall how you look and how you are portrayed to others, right? Because the whole goal here is for you to be more approachable, kinder looking, or not, whatever it is you're going for. But the point is, you should have a goal in mind. And in order to achieve that goal, you have to visualize, what do I want? What looks best on me? And that's the best part about this hair journey that you're on, is essentially trying shit out And if it doesn't work, whatever, it's fine. Hair grows back. That's the best part about your hair. You can try so many things. There was a point in my life where I had super long hair. I had hair that came down to here, you see. I had a big head of hair. And for a while, I thought about, what if I grew my hair out again? And then I thought about it, and then for me, it made me look more boyish. It didn't really make me look the age I am. So I decided, you know what? Let's stick to something more grown up, more manageable as well. Because at the end of the day, you also have to take that into account. You don't want to spend half an hour every morning cleaning up your hair, making it look good every single morning. Because, that does compound, right? If 7 days a week, you are spending half an hour every single morning, that's what? That's almost 3.5 hours. Every day. Within your week. 3.5 hours of your week gone. On what? Just fixing your hair for the morning. Really? I don't know. To me, that seems a bit excessive. But again, if you're willing to do that, for sure, go ahead. I personally don't have 3.5 hours to waste. I like to use all my time efficiently and effectively for things that value and better me as a person. Whether that's journaling, meditating, breath work. I'd rather put my time to better use. So it is all a choice that you're trying to make here. Things that really put you ahead of the curve in many cases. But I would say your looks and how you portray yourself, how you carry yourself, does play a big role in your confidence, right? Because, again, your confidence is really about how you portray yourself. You could be the most chopped shit, right? You could be the ugliest little boy. But if you have the balls and you carry yourself a certain way, you can talk to pretty much anyone. And that is the beauty of confidence, I would say. Many times I used to be afraid of talking to random people, smiling at random people. Then I noticed, you know what? I'm not really, there's nothing bad that I could gain from this. Smiling at people, smile more, just smile more. Smiling more costs nothing. And it makes you feel better and makes other people feel better. And if it doesn't, fuck them. Whatever, they may be having a shit day. Maybe they're a glass half empty kind of person. And you know what? Let them. You're not. Or at least I hope you're not. If you're listening to this, I would hope you're not. Because, you see, being a pessimistic person essentially just sets you up for a horrible, sad life. And you don't want to be that person. You want to have a good, happy life, don't you? You want to work hard, don't you? And to do the things that are hard, to make them a little bit easier to get to the places where you want to be. You would want to look a bit better doing so. Because it does come down to your looks. People that say, pretty privilege isn't real, are completely lying to you. Do you have any idea how many of my women friends get shit for free just because they're gorgeous? How many times stupid guys just offer them drinks? How many times the bartender flirts with these friends of mine just because they're pretty? So many times. And what do they do? They play the man. Because guys are stupid. And guys are horny. But that's the thing. Pretty privilege is real. And it goes both ways. I don't think I would be where I am right now if it weren't for my good looks. If I was absolutely chop shit, there's a thing about how you portray yourself. And I really do believe that it does take you far. You look better when you're presenting. You look better when you're speaking. If you have a certain confidence about you, if you look a certain way, people tend to listen to you more. and tend to believe you more, especially if you do look a certain way, right? If you wear the correct clothes, how you treat yourself, if you take care of yourself, if you shave, if you don't shave, or at least if you take good care of your skin, of your beard, of you're well groomed, right? People tend to say, okay, I mean, yeah, he seems believable. He knows what he's talking about. Look at him. Why wouldn't I believe him? You know, it's like the biggest guy in the gym giving you advice. Wouldn't you listen to him? Of course, look at him. He's gotten to a certain point. I'm sure that like what he did was backbreaking, but whatever his advice is, I'll listen to it. Because me as a beginner, I want to look like that, right? Why would you take advice from someone who has a shit physique? Clearly, this shit's not working for you. They may give you the same advice, same exact advice. Who are you gonna believe? The person who actually has the results. It's all down to you, man. Do the thing.